Hello, and thank you so much for coming back. This is Joanna from Joanna the Medium, or I am Joanna the Medium. Thank you so much for your patience. The videos for September are coming a little bit late. I was just absolutely swamped in September. Thanks to you for the most part. The soul coaching sessions have proven to be a tremendous hit. There were 75% of all my work in September, and clients, you have found them to be extraordinarily helpful. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. This is obviously, these are general readings. It will not apply to all of you. That would be absolutely impossible. If one reading doesn't apply to you, look at your other signs as it may form a greater picture. I am also becoming very, very aware that the energies that I am working with are energies that are meant to give messages in a broader context. And what I mean by this is information is coming forward to help you look at life and at situation or situations from a different perspective. And the reason why that's being given to you at this time is because those of you who are ready for the next step of your soul's growth will instantly resonate with what's being said. Those are also messages that are not specific necessarily with regards to what's going on with your life and how you need to fix it. And for that reason, some of you will get very frustrated with me, and that's fine. If that's the case, you may not be ready for the information that I will be presenting moving forward. Sometimes it's just a matter of timing. Sometimes you're not ready to hear something, but you may be ready for a month from now or 2 months from now. And I absolutely respect that. I've been there myself. But it is very much as me saying, these messages are meant to help you how to fish rather than to give you fish every single time, because helping you learn how to fish is going to empower you to take better care of yourself in a more empowered way, versus if I was to be feeding you all the time and giving you information. That's actually very disempowering. And my greatest passion is to help people become empowered and find their own light in order to grow and live happy lives that start from feeling good within. So that is my greatest hope for all of you. And some of you are just looking for things to be fixed. And, you know, if that's the case, you probably will not resonate with a lot of the messages that I say here. And that's totally okay. I am completely open to that, and I have respect for that. Okay. Is there anything else that I want to say? No, of course, if you would like a private message, you can also email me at joannahthemedium or info@joannahthemedium.com, but I have included links for you down below, so it's much easier so you don't have to look. I also want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, as always, for watching, sharing, subscribing, for if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. September is going to be an interesting month, to say the least. It is a month of changes and transformations for many of you, myself included. These aren't changes that are bad, or at least should not be looked at it that way, but there's definitely an energy of change that is very apparent in most of the readings that I've done for September. I think that's it. I don't want to spend too much of your time blabbing. So let's get on to the readings. And again, thank you so much for watching, sharing, and subscribing. And I look forward to hearing from you as far as your comments, because I love hearing those and reading those. And some of you have said I should stop going and I actually just noticed that I do that a lot. So I'm going to try and pay attention to that as much as I can. But it is something that's ingrained, so it's going to take me a bit of time to eradicate, but I obviously thank you for that comment. Without further ado, let's get started with the readings. See you soon. Hello and welcome back. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Libra, and I will continue on with the same format as last month, which is channeling for the most part, and then I have 3 cards laid out at the end. So this is a general reading for the sign, sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign. So please make sure to check all 3 as they may resonate with you at different times, more so than the others. So let me just see. The first words I hear are allow yourself to receive the love that has been awaiting for you all this time. This isn't the love of humankind we speak of, but rather the love of the spirit world that you understand as God. God, spirit, whatever you may choose to call it, comes in many ways, shapes, and forms. And in whatever way it resonates with you the most, there is no label that is necessary for one to have in order to believe in something greater than themselves. Allow yourself to receive, for this is the greatest gift one can ever give to one's self. Love is a word that means a lot of things to many people. It is not the love of the human kind as in romance we speak of. This is not to say that the love between 2 people does not exist, or it does not exist in a way that is profound. What we want you to understand is that the love we speak of, or the love you seek, is a feeling or an emotion that is much greater than the love that you know of in the human body. We ask you to be patient, for patience is a virtue for all those who seek love within themselves. Do not allow yourself to be fooled by those who try to scare you or put fear in your minds and hearts. For this is not the way to find peace in a human body and mind. And then I'm being shown buildings, tall buildings. And when I ask what these buildings represent, I'm being told that these buildings represent opportunities, exciting opportunities that exist for you as a product of your imagination. And what is being said is that the only thing that is stopping you or us is the lack of imagination we give it. I also hear the word procrastination. Procrastination with oneself with respect to growth and expansion that is greater than the human physical form. And he's talking about expansion of heart and expansion of mind as it's meant to be received in a way of enlightenment. The word enlightenment does not necessarily come from reading scriptures or looking at certain things. The word enlightenment comes from looking within one's self in order to find aspects of one that was for the most hidden from the human mind or the human consciousness. And the way this is the way one can find this light is through pure love and love for self. So I can see this is a reading that is way bigger than, our physical stuff. The reason why this is being brought up right now is because the level of consciousness on this planet is changing in its vibration. And I am being shown a motion of up, moving up. Vibration is changing, and it is, he's saying to me, you can term it as vibration is changing to vibrate higher. And it is not that the vibration is coming to us. It is that our consciousness and who we are expands, and therefore we are able to perceive this higher vibration or move towards this higher vibration. He's also talking about opening of heart. Not necessarily to the romantic love, although that can certainly be the case, but this is a much, much bigger message. Opening of hearts in a way that one is often uncomfortable with doing. And I hear the word vulnerability. Opening oneself to a process that seems to evoke a lot of fears within is the concept that he is referring to. The process of working through one's fears allows one to completely and utterly understand oneself from a level and perspective that was previously not recognized or there was no awareness of. And this level of understanding allows oneself to open up to a much, much greater love, could be romantically, that one is not used to or has not been used to before. I'm going to ask him why this message is being passed on, because it is very different than all my other messages up to this point. The reason why I'm being asked to share this message or to put this message forth, because this message is meant for those people who are currently undertaking a journey in self-discovery. Whether this self-discovery is through reading, and it could be scriptures, Bible, whatever it is, or listening or tuning into one's heart or soul or inner being. It is allowing one to, again, open up to a much greater aspect of themselves. Those who this message does not resonate with, and those who are looking purely for information based on what's going to happen tomorrow or how is my love life going to look like in the next few months, this is not a message for you. It is very clearly stated to me that this is not a message for you. Now, the cards may speak about this later, but what I'm being asked to pass forward right now is much greater than the physical aspect of who we are or the more mundane aspects of what we deal with in everyday life. I also hear, as long as you look towards the sun, you will always find the light. And he's asking me not to interpret this as it will have many meanings for different people. But I want to interpret at least a little bit, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So when I ask him to give me a little bit more information or to unpack this for me, he's giving me the label negativity, or label that says negativity. And what is being stated is that if one always looks up or to the light or towards positivity, one will always see the light. If one always looks towards the negative or towards the negativity, one will always find what they're looking for. And he's showing me this as a scale. Libra, interestingly enough, is a scale. He's showing it to me as being very unbalanced at this time. So for those of you who have a tendency to look at life from the perspective of poor me, negativity, victim mentality, what's being asked of you is to change your perspective and look towards the light, not towards the dark. Okay? Now, I realize that the moment I'm going to say this, it is going to trigger some of you. There's no question about it. And you will get tense inside. You will all of a sudden have all these things come up in your mind, and you will have all these reasons why you are looking at the negativity. And if that's what happens, it is absolutely okay, but that's the purpose of it. It just shows how we identify ourselves with a certain way of looking at things. And if this is being said to you and it's being triggered, that can act as an opportunity for you to look at something that is there but hasn't been unpacked, so to speak. I'm also being told that this is a profound time for change for those who are looking for change and enlightenment. And of course, nothing is ever being shoved onto people. Nothing is ever being told, that nothing is ever being forced, thank you, upon people. So this is absolutely something that you will either wish to undertake or not. And for some, you will be ready. For some, you will be not. And the very aspect of me saying this to you, you will get a very clear indication if you're ready or not. Okay? Have patience with yourself, even if you do get triggered. Okay? There is a purpose and meaning behind this. Sometimes when we get triggered, actually it's not sometimes, when we get triggered, there's always a resistance that comes up. Resistance, or the sign of resistance, can act as a catalyst for profound change if one is willing to look at the aspect of what makes one resistant to a certain message. I have put myself in a position to be a conduit to whatever is coming through. And I also realize that I may get a brunt of certain negativity being sent towards me because of what I'm saying. And I'm completely okay with that. I'm willingly putting myself in this position. Why? Because I understand that the aspect of change, or the process of change, comes often with a lot of triggers. And those are good things. Okay, and he's asking me to wrap this up. So now let's just go with the cards. So the first card is represented by the mind or your past, also the background. And what we have is, the card is called, so it's a chakra card. 3, there's no indication of what the 3 is at this particular point for me, but this card is shown to me in reverse. So this is solar plexus. Okay, solar plexus is where your guts reside. So it is this 3rd chakra. And I'm going to ask why this is being shown to me in reverse. And what I'm being told is that for those of you who this message is for, and please keep in mind, it will not be for everybody. I'm saying that right off the bat. For those of you who this message is for, and for those of you who are ready for whatever words just came through, you're being asked to look at aspects of your past that have negatively changed the view of who you are, particularly the concept of self and how you feel about yourself with respect to others and the environment around you. Okay? I'm being told that there is some deeply rooted issues or challenges pertaining to childhood. I'm seeing the number 7. This could be for some of you something around the age of 7 that happened, 6 or 7. For some of you, there is, I'm hearing July, so I don't know how July connects with you, but there is an aspect of July. I'm also hearing the word mother. Maybe there is July is connected to mother, and I'm being shown heavily drinking father figure. Okay, and then I hear the word negative self-beliefs. So for those of you who resonate with this, and those of you who have difficulties or challenges around self-esteem, self-worth, you're being asked to look at this particular time at the negativity that is still ingrained within you. Now, this is not calling you a negative person. This is simply saying that there are negative aspects of you that you still carry around that is affecting you emotionally and physically and certainly spiritually, that is ready to be released or are ready to be released at this particular time. Okay? I'm also being told that this is a difficult aspect of one's self-growth, but it is through transforming negatives and negative patterns that one actually finds the enlightenment that was spoken of before. So that is your past, okay? Now, your present or the current situation, we have the card called Moving On. This is a mental card, or the card that represents your mind, your thoughts, your thought patterns. Moving on, fairly self-explanatory. So basically, when I was talking about this card in reverse, and I was saying that this aspect of you is affecting you physically, mentally, and spiritually, you are being asked to let go of past patterns that are affecting you mentally in particular. Because this card is shown to me in reverse, upright, it indicates to me that you are ready for this growth and you are ready for this quote-unquote challenge. However, this challenge will not come without its own challenges, okay? What you are being asked to understand is that it is through process of unraveling what once was and uprooting one's roots that the greatest and most profound change can happen and occur. Don't be afraid of what you uncover, and don't be afraid of feeling or experiencing a lot of emotional and mental upheavals at this time, okay? This is because when we shake the glass, so to speak, the water tends to spill. The water represents emotions in this case. So if you're going to look at your past and how your past environment has negatively affected you, if you're going to shed light on this, you'll most undoubtedly have feelings and emotions that will come up to surface that will need to be released. And sometimes it may not feel very pretty. Again, he's showing me these buildings and he's asking you to be mindful of where you're going, not so much where you come from. So even though you're being asked to pay some attention to what happened, bear in mind that you're only paying attention for a moment in order to shed light on something that was deeply buried inside in order to release it. But you are still asked to move forward and look at the possibilities of the new way that will undoubtedly be as a result of you moving on from your past. The next card represents your future, or your advice in this case. Harmony, another 6. This is a major arcana, which represents enormous internal change or shift. Now, many of you can look at this as harmony between men or woman, men, makes no difference, but romantic relationship. To me, this is signifying harmony within yourself between male, female aspects. Positive, negative, male, female, present, past, basically coming into a balance, yin and yang. Once you address stuff in your third chakra, stuff pertaining to your sense of self, once you do some work and let it go, you will be, I hear, victorious and harmonious going forward. And it is from this platform or this standpoint where enormous possibilities are truly attainable for you. And he's asking me again to look at the sun. Don't look at the rain, look at the sun. For when you look at the sun, you will always find light. And I'm being asked to stop here and not interpret anymore. I do realize that this is a very different message it's a different message than before. It is, it has a lot of deeper meaning into it. And whoever you are, take from it what you will, discard what you don't. And if you're not ready for this particular message, then this message is not for you, and it's totally okay. You may realize that in 2 months you listen to this message and something is going to click. You may also listen to this message and be triggered. Well, anger may come up because for whatever reason something is going to be triggered. If that's the case, don't worry about it. It's all good. Put it on the shelf. Maybe come back to it at some other time and see if it makes sense to you. But the very aspect of you being triggered says that something was poked that needs to be uncovered. Okay? I wish you best of luck in the month of September. I feel there's a lot of changes that will be happening for those of you who this is for. And though it will not be without some challenges, I hear and see fireworks in front of me. And I also see the month of October. October is when I see the fireworks. So whoever you are either going through these changes, or you will be very shortly going through these changes, or you're going through it. Keep focused on where you're going or where you want to go. Okay, the word positivity is being underlined to me over and over and over again. And it's interesting because I was just being shown a dice. Somebody threw a dice, and when I asked the question, what is this about? And what I'm being told is this is no longer a game of luck, what number you get, but a game of concentration and determination, and absolute fascination with what you want and where you're going. There is definitely a component of a knowingness, not relying just on luck, but just a inner knowingness that everything is going to be absolutely okay. I wish you best of luck again in September. If this message made sense to you, I would love to hear a comment. Of course, as always, I truly, truly appreciate you watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. If you would like a private reading, of course, or private consultation, you can get a hold of me through joannathemedium.com or the information down below. I have a few links for you. And until then, thank you so much and have a wonderful September. Take care. Bye.